Hi, we're Jill and Jerry, the Cruising Canucks.
And today we are showing who the winner is of Journey to the Secret Word for our 2024 group cruise. We had 62 people on board, and they were kind of in and around us hiding the letters, but they did not see all the letters. But some of you did. In fact, almost 200 people joined the contest this time to try to win the Level 8 piece of luggage.
That's right.
And we want to thank Level 8 for providing the luggage. We've been using it for a better part of a year now.
Oh, yeah.
And we just loved it so far. And Level 8 has been great. They've sponsored our contest here. And the winner that we see on the big wheel today will win a piece of that Level 8 luggage.
For sure.
So, for those that haven't played before, we always get lots of questions. How do you play the game? What are we looking for? Where do you hide the letters? This video will show examples of where we hid the letters for these 10 days on the cruise. And why is there 10 letters?
There was 10 letters because it was a 10-day cruise. So depending on the length of the cruise depends on the length of the word. So what you need to do is collect each letter, write down where you spotted it in the video and what that letter was. For instance, if it was an A and you found it in the main dining room. And once you collect all those letters, you unscramble them to create whatever the word is, and then you're ready to enter the contest.
Yes, and this time we had almost 200 people that got it right.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we could tell everybody what the secret word is now, because we're going to see all the letters in a second.
The secret word this time was Martinique.
Martinique was the 10-letter word.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because we always are curious to see how many days it takes people to figure out what the letter was. And I think we were probably about halfway through. Interesting enough that by the time we hit, day 7, we were in Martinique. For a lot of people,
that's when it clicked.
The light bulb went off.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So what we'll do first here is we are going to walk you through where all the letters were.
Okay.
And then we are going to spin the wheel and see who wins the luggage today.
All right, let's do it.
So day number 1, first day, embarkation day on the group cruise. We were sailing out of Fort Lauderdale.
Crazy busy day, and like we often do, we get so busy that we forget we have the letter. But we remembered not too far in. It was in the main dining room when we had our first group dinner with everybody that you would find that letter.
Yeah, we thought it was fitting that the whole group was there, so I would put the letter on one of the waiter stations, I think it was.
Yes.
And kind of film the group in the background, and you saw the letter R.
That's right.
Was the first letter that showed up. So that was day 1. Day 2 was the letter T, and this one was also late in the day that we really didn't. It was a sea day, an unexpected sea day.
Yes.
We were supposed to be at Princess Keys, but the weather
didn't cooperate.
Yes. So we had the letter late in day, trying to figure out where are we going to hide this letter, and then we had a very enthusiastic cruiser with us.
So one of the members that joined the group cruise, Kimmy, she asked, "Have you hit the letter yet?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, we didn't." So I pulled it out of my little clutch, and I held it, and she held it, and Mr. Canuck just filmed it right there.
Yeah, filmed the letter. You could see the letter T was sitting in their hands, and in the distance there was a dance party going on in the piazza.
That's right.
So that was T. On day 3, we were at a planned sea day, and that day we had the scavenger hunt.
We did.
We had people running around the ship looking for different things, and we thought, how much fun would it be for one of the things they have to look for? The secret letter will also be buried in there too.
That's right. So one of the things that our group had to find was vines. And so we hid the letter in the vines at Sabatini's Italian restaurant on board.
Yes, and you can see I actually filmed this 2 different ways you'll see here. One time I filmed it of just kind of the letter and the vines, and in the distance Mrs. Canuck was sitting there waiting for people to show up with the final list of things they found. But then we thought when one of the groups showed up, actually I think it was one of the winning groups, one of the top 2 I think.
Yes.
They showed up and they were taking pictures of the vines and getting themselves a selfie in front of all the vines because that's what they had to do for the scavenger hunt. And we said, "Oh, what's that behind you?" And they turned around, they're looking, and all of a sudden their eyes bugged out, and there they saw the red E was buried in the vine. So yeah, it was filmed 2 different ways. It wasn't planned to be done that way. We thought, hey, let's see if anybody can find the letter when they're trying to find other stuff for the scavenger hunt. So yes, so that group definitely knew there was an E somewhere in the 10 letters. Day 4, we were in St. Thomas.
We were.
We had a wonderful beach day, and we came back from the beach day, and we're enjoying some cocktails on the after the ship as we were sailing away.
So we had the letter with us for the sail away cocktail hour, which would have been at the Wakeview Bar sail away deck.
Yep, and the letter A was just sitting up there on some of the railings there, and in the distance you could see St. Thomas fading off into the horizon. So that was the letter A. Day 5 was the letter N, and this was a special one because the night before we had someone that became engaged.
We had friends of ours that, they had an engagement the night before, so we met with them the next day and sort of snuck the hidden letter in there with them when we were talking to them.
Yeah, as we were talking to them and announcing about their engagement and telling the story, we panned down to see the ring, and next to the ring was the N, the secret letter for the day.
That's right.
Day 6, we were at St. Lucia.
Oh, we had a fun excursion. A lot of the people that joined us for the group cruise decided to join. We sort of had a group that went on a catamaran. So there were 34 of us, I think, that decided to do the same excursion. And so we hit it on the catamaran. That was a wild, crazy, fun day.
Yeah, it was sitting on a part of the mast of the ship, and you kind of saw the letter, and in the distance, everybody was having themselves a good time at the dance party on board the ship. So then we went to day 7, and day 7, where were we?
We were in Martinique.
We were in Martinique, so this is the day that a lot of people probably thought, Martinique, that has 10 letters. Maybe that's the word. And that day we hid another I. So we had an I the day before. We had 2 I's in a row, just to see if we could trip you up a little bit. And that one was at the retreat pool.
It was in the pool, yeah. Or it wasn't in the pool. I was in the pool, but the letter was behind me at the pool.
Yeah, we filmed this one several different times too because it was really tough. We tried sitting it kind of in the little cubby area next to the pool, and it kept getting kind of washed away or falling over. And then we filmed it in a towel behind Mrs. Canuck, and then that was too small.
Couldn't really see it.
So then I had to kind of really zoom in and do some slow motion work in the editing. But I think we finally found the letter, and that was the letter I again for the second time.
It was a little tricky.
Yes, it was a little tricky, but it might have been the trickiest one of the bunch. Day 8, we were in Antigua.
Oh, well, we almost lost that letter.
First time ever.
I had visions that we would never be able to write a word that had the letter U in it ever again because we filmed it right on the beach, and of course a wave came up and took the letter out to sea, and I was running after it trying to catch this letter before we lost it forever.
Yes, so we had the letter U that day, originally in the sand by the little sailboat that was there. It washed away. We managed to capture it as it was heading out to sea on the wave. And then we took it, and I sat it up on a couple rocks next to that same spot. And I think that's the the footage we finally used, was it sitting on the rocks because it was so crazy when it almost got washed away. But we saved it.
We did.
And U lives to be used for another day.
It does. Maybe it'll be in our next series.
And day 9 was an M.
An M.
Yes, and day 9 we finally had a chance for a little bit of downtime.
Yeah.
So I took the letter, went to the aft there. We have our secret area on the Enchanted Princess.
Yes.
But it was busy that day, so we went to the opposite side. There's a smoking area there, but luckily there was nobody out there smoking.
Right.
So we took advantage of the nice quiet area out there at the aft of the ship and filmed the M just sitting there with the wake trailing off into the distance.
Yeah, lovely.
Day 10.
Day 10, last day.
It was a Q.
It was a Q.
And
so that was a big giveaway. That's if you didn't know the word by then, because the letter Q is not in a whole lot of words. So we thought we left that one for the end to help people out.
Yes, and the Q was sitting next to the calamari.
It was.
In the Patreon lunch that we had that day on the final day of the cruise.
Yeah, it was lunchtime in the main dining room, or one of the main dining rooms.
So there you go. That was all 10 letters. And at that point, we definitely had lots of people saying, I think we know what it is.
Yeah.
So Martinique was the word after all 10 days.
Yes.
And so now it's that time.
It's time to spin that wheel.
We're going to spin the wheel. So are you ready?
Look at all the names.
Oh, there's a lot of names on this wheel this time.
Wow. It's getting harder and harder to see these names. You'll have to pause to see, I'm sure.
Okay, so here we go.
We'll spin it.
It's time. Spin that wheel.
Let's go.
Round and round it goes. Still going.
Oh.
Starting to slow down.
Oh, there we go.
And it looks like, it's almost there.
Oh.
It is.
The winner is Frank.
Frank P. is the winner on the wheel.
Congratulations, Frank.
Frank, you've won a piece of level 8 luggage. And we will be in touch with you.
We will.
Even if you're on a cruise or away, we'll keep trying to get in touch with you until we get in touch with you. So.
But we will email you and reach out so that we can have your mailing address to let level 8 know where to send your suitcase.
Yeah, so congratulations, Frank, and thank you, and congratulations to everyone else that played and had the right word.
Yes, thank you guys for playing along. This has been the growth of this game within our vlogs has just been so fun for us to watch and see. You know, the idea of this game was something that Mr. Canuck came up with while we were walking one day, and just to see the growth of it is just fun.
Yes, and if you didn't win this time, then play along next time. Our MSC 7-day adventure is out next on the seashore.
It is.
And there'll be 7 letters you're looking for there. And we'll do this all over again. And people always ask how you can enter. The way you enter is after the very last vlog, we open up a online form that you can enter all the letters, all the locations, and submit it to us. And that is open for 1 week from the time the last vlog comes out to 1 week later. Then we close the deadline and we do something like this again and we announce the winner.
That's right.
So thanks everybody for watching.
Yes, and thanks for playing along.
And congrats again, Frank. We'll be in touch. Bye everybody, and good luck next time.